Hey y'all, I wanted to put together a video to show how to use the quarter step template that I uploaded if you're just jumping into offsets. Now, I'm not going to go over how to establish the quarter steps. Maverick No Man's Sky has wonderful videos showing how to do that. Um, So if you're interested in understanding like the how, go ahead and check his videos out because they're fantastic. And he's the one that showed me the logic behind how the quarter step technique works. Um, so let's go ahead and just jump right into it and modify the template that you downloaded. I've been messing with this, so I don't know if this looks exactly the way it comes delivered. That cockpit's probably different, and I don't know what it is in the middle. But long and short, the whole way that it works revolves around this block here, or rather that space being open. And when that space is open, the game detects the area of your ship and sort of normalizes it and fits it so that it's more centered. How exactly it works, I don't really know. Um, but I was able, through watching Maverick's videos, to figure out a method that worked for me to establish all three of the quarter step locations needed to have full coverage of those quarter step offsets. Um, the reason I use the template also is when you do those shifts, I'm going to stop moving the camera around unnecessarily, but yeah, when you do those shifts, it resets the origin of the ship and kind of shifts where the center is. And when I was establishing this template, it kind of put the origin like up here. So like my ships were hanging off into this next build area once they landed, which is not ideal. So I just go to the service bot um, meta ideas server and download the template from there. So if you're watching this video, you have the template, you know what I'm talking about. We don't need to spend any more time on that. But I digress. And we're going to look at offsets in general. So if you're just jumping in and you haven't done any offsets before, everything sort of revolves around the idea that you can um, move stuff half step over. And you can do that, without any special prep, anything like that. So doing half offset, um, it's pretty simple. All you got to do is just think of you having two hands. Your vent here sort of grabs the piece, and you've got your rock hopper to slide it. So let me demonstrate. We're going to do a half step offset and put it back where it is so it's hanging off right there. So you stick it on the side, pick up your block, and move it there. Now you see it's halfway between where it was, over to the right. Now, the problem is it's also halfway up here. So if we want to put it back where it's supposed to go, and grab the rock hopper. Now in this template, I have the rock hopper and the vent set up over there, so you can just R1 and grab it real quick. Um, it's a lot easier going into the menu and finding it and placing it, and whatever works for you. It's what I do, so I included it. Um, I hope you find it useful. But you see, you just grab it and you can slide it along here. Now the thing with this rock hopper, and I have it set up on the template, that's backwards. So this is opposite of the direction it needs to be. It always needs to be on this right hand side, looking out the build bay. Um, so you'll see, like if I flip it around, it doesn't work. It only works on this side. like so. Um, so yeah, if you pull up this rock hopper, it starts on this side, right? But since this is backwards, it starts on that side, and when you grab it, it automatically flips it, so it's on the right side. That's really kind of confusing because that's backwards, but you get the idea. So when you're doing these offsets, just kind of keep in mind that you use the vent to shift the location, then you use the rock hopper to slide it back. And so you see now it's down a half step and over a half step. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. So, what are these quarter step offsets, you ask? That's why I'm here, they say. Well, let's look at that. Just to show you the spacing on this, let's bring this up because this is true in center. That's how it is normally. That's stock, I guess you could say. And we drag it up and we see that it is overlapping this red by just a little bit. And that red one is a quarter step offset forward or backwards and a quarter step offset to the right or to the left. Both of those are the same. Now, this blue one, that guy in there, that's a quarter step offset forward, just forward. So that means this green one, teal rather, is, we'll call it true, centered, stock, normal. Normal's a good word. Nominal, that's a better word. Yeah, so that one's just in there so you have something free and easy to attach to if you need to. Sometimes when you're working in the back of the ship, you need to drag stuff around and forward. It's just easier to know where you're working from and know that you've got a nominal value. And that said, these yellow ones, those are quarter step simply left and right. So you've got nominal, quarter step left, quarter step right. And then the blue is quarter step forward. And the red is quarter step forward and quarter step to the side. So that covers all of the quarter steps that you need. I did not include any of the half steps just because you can access them anytime, anywhere by using the vents and the rock hoppers. So, how do you use this thing? Well, you kind of have to have an idea what you want to build. If you don't, look at me jiggling the camera left and right, making people sick. Learned that from Maverick again. Shout out to him. He's been absolutely incredible with establishing his community and sharing the knowledge. So again, if you don't know who I'm talking about, go check him out, Maverick NMS. Anyway, I don't really have an idea of what to build, so let's start just putting stuff in and see what we've got. How about a cockpit? Now, you can add a cockpit. You can delete this cockpit all you want. It's fine. It's just there because you need it. But these Medusa reactors, they are placed first before any of the cockpits were. So when you go and get your modules after you finalize your ship, the game is going to pull these three as the maneuverability modules instead of a cockpit and two Medusa reactors. So if you want three Medusa reactors, which are generally better for maneuverability than the cockpit stats, don't delete these. Just pick them up and move them. I'll make a video maybe at some other point showing how to refresh your ship if you lost your three Medusas. But for right now, just go ahead and don't delete these. Just move them and put them in place, and you'll be good to go. So, what is this quarter step good for? How do you use it? What are we doing here? Well, I don't know, but let's put some stuff around this cockpit just to show what's up. I use these teal ones sort of as my like scaffold pieces to bring stuff back. Just because it's right here, I can press R1, grab it, pull it, and it's color coded so I know that the teal values are nominal. But anyway, we're attaching these to these red ones. That's the double offset, forward and to the sides. So, how is that useful for us? Well, let's bring it back just a little bit more. Let's take these guys out, just see what we're doing. And let's cram some curved parts on there. Those are always good, right? So these are attaching to the sides of either of these quarter step guys right here. Let's delete them. You can see what's going on. So, I haven't planned any of this. If I were to build a ship, I probably wouldn't put these pieces right here, but for the purposes of this video, these pieces are right here. And you see the space in between them is enough to access your cockpit. It's essentially half of a hab. Let's grab that. Let's peek inside this whole hab here. And you see they stick in there. Now, you put modules in here, this stuff's going to cover it up. But if you are building without habs, then you've got yourself a pretty sweet little corridor going on here. Let's stack those guys in there. Yeah. So now, if you wanted, this could be your ship. I mean, why would it be? But it could be. And you've got this free open space for you to use your decorations at will. And you're not bound by the limitations of the hab itself. Do whatever you want with it. But you can bring these over. Bada bing, bada boom. Kind of like that. I find that spacing to be super useful. So the quarter step lets you get on either side of the hab, wherever it may be, using combinations of half steps, nominal values, quarter steps. That's sort of the power of the quarter step spacing. Another sort of useful thing that the quarter step gives access to is putting together shapes that don't that otherwise wouldn't let you center them. So like this guy, everybody loves this guy, right? He's pretty sweet. Let's go this way. Let's go this way. What am I doing? There it is. And you can put that guy centered with a quarter step just by bringing it over a little bit. It has this cool like hostess cupcake pattern thing going on. You know, Fun stuff. But another useful geometry that you don't usually get access to is the what is it, Speedbird cowling? No, Vesper diffuser. That's what it's called. And it gives you that sweet, tight little curved dome thing that sort of mimics the regular curve. This one, Vesper aerofoil. Really? Vesper diffuser and Vesper airfoil? What is that called? Speedbird? The names on these things are terrible. Just call them the round one, the pointy round one, whatever. Um, but yeah, so it gives you access to that. Any permutations of parts that don't normally look good when they're stuck side by side or just are kind of too wide. Um, yeah, these guys are cool when you do them up too, but I deleted the template. Anyway, um, yeah, that's pretty much what you need to know to utilize this template itself. These guys, they are color coded by the origin location. So like that blue one came from this offset front left, and that's kind of where it ended up. It's right there. Uh, oh, I did move a lot of stuff around. So if your template doesn't look exactly like this, it's fine. I'm not entirely sure what I did, what all I moved around on this iteration, but they should all be there, and the colors are they do represent where they came from. I find this yellow one when I'm doing sideways habs to be the most useful for nominal values. Um, and sometimes like you have to go to the other side of where it's at and place the landing bay as opposed to putting it, say, on this side. I don't know if you can see the spacing is a little bit more here and here than it is here and here. So those don't line up exactly with with the sides, and that's just because well, I'm not entirely sure why it does that. I'm not a mathematician. I'm not a geometry guy. I don't know any calculus. Uh, so I'm sure there are more qualified individuals that could easily explain why it should be different and make it better. Um, so if you're one of those individuals, feel free to chime in. I can always update stuff and do whatever. But I'll be totally honest. Like I don't really understand the math or the science behind any of this. I'm more of just a here's how it works and this is how I did it kind of guy, which, you know, for you to judge. But that's basically it. So the thing about this template, if you uncover this space and you save it, it will shift the whole thing. And I'm not entirely sure how it would shift it because it's so irregular and so wonky. Um, so like if you're building up here in the front and you need to save, make sure you got this back part covered so that it doesn't shift your whole origin around. Not really a huge deal, but you'll lose the ability to have your teal values nominal to the center. It's just kind of a bit more thinking. Not the end of the world, but it is what it is. So yeah, that's the gist of what this template is and what this template does. It's not perfect. It can always be better. The idea behind it was absolutely not mine. I just saw an opportunity for this red double offset to be involved, um, and it's just easier. So I uploaded it, um, because again, you could do this all each ship doing Maverick's technique to get the offsets, but it is going to shift your origin an unknown amount. Unless he covered how to reset the origin later on in the video and I just missed it, I kind of get what I need to go and sort of go from there and make mistakes. And had I watched the whole video, I would have understood. Um, that happens often with me. So if he covered how to reset the shifted origin, then apologies. But otherwise, I just find it easier for me to just download the template because it was kind of a pain to set up each time, um, and I'm a fan of ease. So yeah, that's the gist of it. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. I am uploading this to YouTube, so I guess you can leave a comment and I could answer there. I don't know. I'm not an influencer. I don't know what I'm doing. I just do stuff for my friends and try to put out some knowledge. Anyway, uh, thank you guys for your time, and I hope that you are able to create what you want to create and that this template doesn't cause you any undue stress. Cheers.